Alright guys, so now I'm trying to sand right here. Right here has a little rough spot. Let's see if we can get you guys to see that. So right here has some rough grooves. There's some little chips that are rough, like they can actually cut you if you rub your hand real fast on them. So I'm just using some 320. I was gonna use my, hold on. I was gonna use this, but I left my Allen key set at the storage, so this 320 is knocking it off pretty good. It's not too hard, so I'm not removing too much. It's just perfect. Alright, let's finish it up. Perfect. Now we can rub our finger there all day. Yeah, perfect. Now we can rub our finger there all day long, no issues. Still have a little more right here. Done more. There's like 3 little more grooves, so let's just knock those out. Nice. Smooth and nice now. Alright, let's clean that down so we can move on to the next step. Alright guys, so I'm getting my the shift linkages. I'm getting them ready. I'll just clean them up, all the parts and stuff for them, but just put a little coat of paint on them to protect them from rust. And then I have the shifter right here. I already have a short shifter, but I need this little bracket to cut off, and this is a pain in the ass to take off. Probably should have took it off, tried it better when it was in here, but I'm just gonna cut it in two and just get it off. Alright, just cut it in two, got the bracket off. Alright guys, so now time to tape this off. Before I tape this off, I forgot, you also have to remove this bearing, this rubber seal right here. So in total, these are all the stuff we get out of there. Get this 2 big ones and this small one right here, and those springs come out of those things, and then these things right here, these bearings, and then where's that thing? You're gonna need your, well for me, yeah, your bracket But I have to cut this off since I'm using a short shifter, because this wouldn't come off. So this is all the junk. We can just get rid of that. Just wanted to show you guys all the crap that came off that stuff. Alright, let's get to wrapping this up. Alright guys, so I was gonna sand the entire outer shell, but I mean, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna just spray some primer on, spray the color I want on, spray the clear coat on. I'm not gonna go through all that. I mean, it's a nice touch. It's a nice touch, you know, to sand it down, make it look all perfect. But you know, my car is not a show car. You know, my car. Yes, I'm gonna bring it to car shows and show it off. But the aim is not a show car where it's just built to be shown off. You know, my car. I'm building this to perform, and I'm building it for show. Usually, guys wouldn't even do half the stuff that I'm doing. You know, just to have some fun. But I'm trying to be reliable. You know what I mean? Because I want to beat up on the car. You know, I don't want to just, you know, when you get bit by that turbo bug, you just want to just get something turbo ASAP, but you have to be responsible and take into consideration all the things that come along with having a turbo build. But yeah, this is just going the extra mile to paint it and all that stuff, but I'm not gonna sand it. I'm just gonna just do whatever. The only part I'm gonna sand is this area. Let's show you guys. So these casting fascias right here, yeah, focus. Yeah, these casting fascias is really rough. Like right here, here, this one, that one. So I'm gonna just use that. I'm not gonna use my, you know, I'm not gonna use my manpower. I'm just gonna just use this to get it over quickly so we can just spray them. And that's about it. A few other casting fascias right here, right here. I'm just trying to reduce any amount of metal particles that are gonna come in here. Even though Nissan was smart enough, I don't know if other car manufacturers do this, but they gave the transmission, a bung on it has a magnetic
a magnetic piece to it, so whatever metal particles circulate through the transmission will get stuck to it and won't, it won't be passing through your bearings and all that stuff. But even though that magnetic thing is there, I'm gonna help it out by reducing any more of these stuff, falling off during operation or any of that stuff. So let's sand that down. Alright guys, these are the areas I just sanded. If it will just focus. There we go. Way better than the last time. Way better. There's still a few more, but I'm not gonna touch every single thing. I think this is good enough. Alright, let's get to setting up my little paint booth so we can spray these parts. Alright guys, got the second half of the transmission right here. Everything's all taped off, checked everything's good. Let's put on some primer. I got where I needed to get. Nice. The reason why I spread it this way is because I wanted to limit the amount of paint that gets on the mating surface for where the most important part is, the internals. This part is not, it's important too, but this is just where the clutch goes and all the other stuff. There's no, you don't need to worry about like a gasket issue, like things getting in the way of your gasket sealant and all that stuff. But over here, it's just exposed. So where the starter goes, all that stuff. So that's why I sprayed it on this side, even though it was more difficult to get under these parts. But job done. I'm just giving them one layer. I mean, it's a transmission, and I say it's not a show car. You probably won't even stay clean that long anyways. Alright. Everything's looking good. Well, good enough for where they're going. Underneath the car. Yeah, all I need to do is just dry now. I'm just giving them one coat. This ain't no show car. This a machine. Alright, we're done with this stuff. And let's go get the transmission casing now to put the color that I want to put on it. You guys be the judge of that. Don't really care. It's what I like. Alright people, time to put on some color. Second part. Alright people, next day I let this baby sit overnight before I hit it with any clear coat. That piece over there, this piece right here, taped it down. Even though before when I was prepping it and I put tape down, paint still got underneath it, but I learned from HP Academy, shout out to HP Academy, that it doesn't matter if you get paint on the, I think the same applies for your transmission as well as when you're painting the engine block. Just make sure you clean it off with some brake cleaner and a clean rag before the paint dries. Some of it was dried, so I just lightly scrubbed the surface with a Scotch-Brite. I think it's still important not to scrub the mating surfaces too much, even though we're making our own gasket for this, and it's not like, you know, one of those metal gaskets, you know. But I still think the same principle applies, where you don't want to warp or mess up the mating surface at all. So anyways, I'm gonna prep this up now so we can spray some clear coat on both these two things. Cut up the edges, make it easier so I can get to the edges, but I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough, and then I'll box this off right here with some cardboard so I can spray right here back. Alright, let's get to it. Alright guys, I'm all done. Got the mounts right here, the shift bolt, the clutch cable bracket. Got the first half and the second half of the transmission. Got the selector shafts, or whatever you want to call these things. Yeah, everything's done, man. Yep. And everything's looking real good too. Alright. As for these now, everything's cleaned and ready to go back now. We're done for now. The only thing I need to do now is find a reputable and reasonable transmission shop to replace these carrier bearings for me, as well as press on my new bearings wherever in their respective areas. Here, here, and here. For the rubber seals that I need to put in, I can put those in myself. You don't need a press for that. I'm going to invest in a press though, since they're not that expensive. But yeah, that's it. Everything's ready. All we need to do is just find a place to start this stuff up for me, and then we can put this baby together, and then we're ready, man. We're ready to get some boost. One last thing, guys. So I wanted to install the Phantom Grip LSD conversion plates, but they're like $300. Now I would get them, but before I just give up $300 like that, I'm gonna see if the Honda's Ga16 or any of the like their conversion plates would be able to fit, because pretty much it looks like the same concept of how conversion plates work, but they might vary in size. But I'm gonna try my luck. They're just like $30, so I'm gonna try my luck and see if it fits, so I can see if I can save myself. If not, we're just gonna have to go the Phantom Grip LSD and just spend the $300, because I mean we need LSD. We don't want to be spinning on one wheel, you know what I mean? We don't need on one wheel spinning. We want to burn rubber on both tires. So yeah. Alright, that's it for now, man. Next update is I have enough now where I can pay to get the car shipped, so we're about to pay to get the car shipped here ASAP. Alright, so keep y'all updated.